comic books, movies, TV, and more. Nerds are everywhere. It's time to assemble! It's Nerds United.
Hello and welcome to a brand new Nerds United, a Jittery Monkey podcast, jitterymonkey.com, as well as right here on your favorite ape-related YouTube channel. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. Monkeys are pretty popular.
Yes, they are.
In the world of the internet. So anyway, aside of all that, I'm your host, Greg Mahochko, and over here, the gentleman, a face that I've missed since we didn't do a show last week, is the co-host of the year, Mike Luther. Hello, Mike.
Well, how's it going, Greg?
I you know what? I'm gonna go there. I opened my heart. I told you before we started recording that I missed you, and
I said word.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, word.
I didn't feel missed.
Oh well, you know, I missed you too.
All right. I'm glad I was able to awkwardly force that out of you. The beard looks magnificent.
Thank you. Only going to have it for about 3 more months.
Gosh, it's going to be down to your belly button.
I know.
It's going to be tremendous. I can't wait.
Maybe 2 months. Yeah, because it's January already.
It's true.
Yeah.
The last show we did ushered in the new year.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, see you later. We're taking 2024 off for.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But a lot's been going on.
Yeah.
And you've been busy and I've been busy. And I had a sick child at the house this week. Also got a new hot water heater in my house this week.
Okay, good. Good for the hot water heater. Not good for the sick child. But
and I had to take the dog to the vet because she's been old.
Yeah.
So a lot of whiz on the floor and on the carpet we find lately.
But what's wrong with the dog, though?
She's old.
Oh.
Actually, they did a blood test and they found early stages of kidney disease. So
yeah.
But again, she's old,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the doctor, the vet, he said, based on, before they did the lab work and stuff, he said, man, just kind of what you're telling me and what I'm seeing here, like it may be cancer.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, he said, if it is, he's like, I'm not saying it. I'm not going to say definitively if it is until it's not, that we can tell. But he said, if it is, he's like, our options are like, we could just, try to make her as comfortable as possible for as long as possible, or we can, try to treat it aggressively. He said, but based on her age, it might buy her an extra month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I would do for her what I would want done for me, at that age. If I was 50 and something happened, then I'll battle. But if I'm, I think the boys were curious. Well, my oldest was curious. He said, how old is she? I said, well, 13 in human years, but in dog years. So we did the little calculator thing on Google, and it's like upper 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like 87 or something like that in dog years. And so, I like, if I was 87, not to say, unless there was an event that I knew a month from now I needed to be around for, like a grandchild's wedding or something like that. That like if old Grandpa Greg can just hold out, it'd be a miracle. But otherwise, at 87, I'm pretty ready to go. So
what if like the next month is like the first Marvel versus DC crossover?
When I'm 87?
Yeah.
I think that's tough. And the only reason I say that stuff, it's like I'd like to be around for that, but I also don't want to like indebt my, put my family in the hole in medical expenses just so I can. I have a feeling. Did you ever watch the movie Fanboys?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would request that, or that was, a fictional story where they, 4 friends went on to try to see Phantom, episode 1 Phantom Menace, but I believe it was, I don't think it was Last Jedi. It might have been Force Awakens. There was a terminally ill individual. I wrote about it on this however many years ago on jitterymonkey.com. And what, in the Lucasfilm, Disney people let him have this advanced screening. So, like, I would hope that, whatever technology we would have 40 years ago, maybe they could just beam it right into my brain, like 2 seconds and be like, that was a great movie. Or depending on who's in charge, if it's like Marvel Studios or DC Studios, like having more creative control, like, that was a crap movie. But, like, they just beam it into my brain. But yeah, I mean, we'll cross that bridge if and when we get to it.
That's fair.
How about you? What are your final wishes? It's so weird.
I what I want is there to be a secret room in my house with like costumes and like to make people think that like I might have been a superhero.
Nice.
They're like, wait a minute, was he? Like, don't make it very obvious. But, maybe like the bat cowl is sitting around. That, or they'll just think I was crazy. Either one.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely have to be something that covered the face.
Yes.
And no, as much as I know you wish you were Green Lantern, it have to be something a little more like grounded in reality.
Yes.
So you could be the Troy Batman.
Yes, sure.
I could see it now. We're gonna get you a cowl, and you're just gonna be especially in the winter months. It's gonna be cowl and beard. The bearded bat. Oh,
that doesn't sound bad. Doesn't sound bad at all.
Look at those guns. Yeah, you'd have crime running the other way in fear.
Oh man.
So I know that I owe you a delivery. My apologies. I have not been in the stuff that I had that was supposed to be up there. They all got canceled, so I haven't been up in your community. But have you read anything in the last couple of weeks?
Nope. Started rereading Die Volume 1.
Oh, okay.
That's about it.
So I started reading something, and I'm really liking it, and I just haven't taken the time. The time is there. I just haven't taken the time to read more of it. And I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't read this before the holidays, but I did. I got to turn off my blur. I'm sorry, everybody. I forgot it was on. There we go. All right. Krampus.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's got a little bit of I'm trying to figure out how to equate this to more familiar characters. So Krampus has been imprisoned in the North Pole for 400 years.
Okay.
Like that. 350 years, whatever, for a few centuries. And all of a sudden, come to find I like our Santa Claus lore, but I also like alternate versions. Kind of like, like anything else, I like alternate versions of these things. So in Krampus, a Yuletide adventure, you learn that there is a secret society of Santas.
Ooh, okay.
And so, it's got like Father Christmas is in there. Our more Americanized version of Santa Claus, Belschnickel, Sinterklaas, just a lot of variations. And wouldn't you know, they're in trouble. Their magic is slipping. And there's only one wintertime, Yuletide time creature who can help them. And so they set Krampus free. They release him. Very like Suicide Squad-esque. Like they said, hey, we have implanted something in you. It's also not very Santa-like.
Yeah.
We have implanted something in you that if you it has to do with the naughty list. Like if you start to fade to the naughty side, then you'll die. But if you go and retrieve this relic and help restore our magic, then we will set you free, type of thing. And I'm only, it's a trade paperback, so I think it's probably 6 issues. I'm finished with 2, and the only reason I say this, I always go back to like, what's a spoiler? What do people want to keep as a surprise? But what would maybe generate more interest in somebody to purchase? So at the end of the second chapter, the second book, if you will, Krampus is in a mythical fairy bar type of thing, like, like sugar plum fairies and, things like that, very Christmas-esque. But there you see an Easter bunny in there. I think you see like a jack-o'-lantern. Again, you see holiday mascots, I suppose. And so he's looking for this mercenary type, and the bartender points him over to the shadowy figure. And when you turn the page, the last page, it's a full page frame, and it's guy that's dressed like an old Western, gunslinger, and it's revealed his name is Doc Holliday.
Oh, okay.
Who's in a holiday themed bar, like HOLIDA, not like the Doc Holliday from Wyatt Earp and stuff. But so I was like, oh, that's a fun little twist. So that's when I closed it, and I haven't again taken the time to open it up since. But that's pretty fun little twist there. So hopefully, maybe that generates some interest among the listeners and viewers. But check out Krampus. I know it's past Christmas, but you can always make an order at your local brick and mortar comic store. So
exactly, it's still winter time, so you're good.
And by golly, this weekend it sure as hell is going to feel like winter where we live.
Yes.
So I heard that wind chills Sunday morning were supposed to be negative 21.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I know it's going to be in the single digits. So
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, weather tonight into the morning is supposed to be rain and then snow.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have a few inches of snow, I believe. So heck of a time for me to have my first eye doctor appointment in like a decade tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So,
yeah. I mean, right now, I was just outside. It was snowing, but it was more wind than anything.
Right. I think, I don't know if I've done this publicly, but I know privately to you, I've much lamented this house and how much I loathe this house. Despite being a relatively new build, it's only 18 years old, but there's cold air coming in like the power outlets.
Oh,
and I just don't know if that's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Like we went upstairs to take the twins to bed. As I told you, I said, hey, a few minutes from now, we're going to get the twins upstairs and do the bedtime routine. And then we'll come down and record. And walked in their room, and their room was like 20 degrees cooler than the rest of the house.
Oh, wow.
So we put like a sheet up over the window, over their drapes and blinds and things like that, just to maybe try to keep the cold air on that side of thing. So fingers crossed, we don't need any more sick kids in the house. So.
No, definitely not.
So we'll just think of summertime and warmer weather. And I know some of my clients told me this week that they were heading south and southwest. So we'll bring some of that warm weather back, and we'll see if they listen. Yeah. So, but Mike, we did not record last week. You had some technical difficulties on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then you had plans on Saturday.
Yep.
So, do we got? I mean, I don't know if there's a ton that we necessarily have to go back and be like, oh, this is too time sensitive. We can't talk about it. But there are a few things that I at least wanted to bring up from the last couple of weeks, if that's okay.
I'll say I think everything on the Facebook page is from this week.
Well, you're welcome.
I don't think we had anything from last week. We might have had one or two things. I'm not 100% sure.
I do want to. I want to save, or I want to use this picture, and I'm. I need your help, Mike. The villain from Thor: Love and Thunder.
Gore.
Thank you. I was like, I know.
Yep.
I knew what it wasn't, and it was frustrating me that I couldn't place what it was.
Right.
So I want to share this picture. I came across this, I don't know, from one of the pop culture media outlets, something like that. And this was some of the original concept artwork for Christian Bale as Gore the God Butcher in Thor: Love and Thunder. And I'm kind of having read the book, after watching the movie. I mean, what do you think about that? I kind of like that.
Yeah, it's a good start.
The armor. This is armor here. Well, I'm moving my mouse, but nobody can see the mouse. But the torso cover is armor. It's not bare. They kept some of the I don't know, tentacles, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like that look versus. I mean, what Christian Bale did the best he could, with what he was given, and I really thought that at times his portrayal, his character, did some very, I don't want to say sinister, like some very creepy moments, like when he popped up in the shadows, in the children's prison carriage or whatever.
Yeah.
Things that, but like his aesthetic wasn't as, I guess, terrifying as it could have been for a villain. So
very true. Yeah.
But anyway, that was fun. I saw that and I said, oh, that'd be quick cannon fodder for the show. And I posted this up last week, actually, last Friday. The first season of Arcane on Netflix was, hard to believe, like 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
And the second season, apparently we're getting later this year. So I did show the little minute-long teaser trailer for that, or shared that. That looks bonkers, by the way. And I'm not, I don't know anything about League of Legends. Apparently Arcane is spun out of the League of Legends video game. Having never played that video game, I don't know. I just kind of started watching, got into the story. For those of you who don't know, first of all, it's all available on Netflix. You can go back and rewatch it, or not rewatch it, watch it if it's the first time. But it's two sisters who kind of get separated. One's a little older, one's a little younger. The younger one kind of gets adopted by a villain, by someone with sinister intent. And because of that, when she resurfaces 10 years later, I mean, she's got some like biological enhancements, like some body modifications and things like that. And again, she's a little twisted, and her sister's doing the best she can. These are kids from the street who grew up with nothing, and she kind of falls in with another group of kids, and they kind of, I guess, raise one another, so to speak, as a little, it's one of those, the family you find, or the family you choose rather than the family you're born into types of situations. Both they're orphaned, but it's a lot of good drama. I think 3 years ago it won some type of Golden Globe or something for some of the animation style. I'd have to double check that, but I thought it was pretty highly reviewed, both critically and from the audience. So I'm kind of excited for a season 2.
I know I started watching season 1. I don't remember if I finished it or not. Well, regardless, I'll probably go back and we'll see how many episodes there are, and then rewatch it. I have a feeling it's not too many. My guess would be 10 episodes, but I could be way off. Hopefully, it's not more than that.
Let's see, 9.
9. Okay, good.
And just a quick, Google information says that they are 40 minutes long.
Yeah, that's how I figured. Yeah.
So, and that probably includes credits. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
So anyway, check out Arcane season 1 and then season 2, folks, when it comes out here. So we also learned over the weekend that Steven Yeun, who was, of course, on The Walking Dead for a number of years, was Glenn on The Walking Dead, is the voice of Invincible on Amazon Prime, and was attached to play Sentry in the Thunderbolts movie, but he left the Thunderbolts, and I believe a lot of it just had to do with timing after the strike from last year.
Yeah, well, if one, it's odd, and it's, I don't know what I'm thinking, but that they didn't even announce him first. They announced his leaving before they announced that his casting. Normally they wouldn't be like that. Normally, like, you just wouldn't hear that he's not there anymore. But I think somebody had like unofficially announced it. It was whoever wrote Walking Dead and Invincible, I think.
Robert Kirkman.
I think I could be completely off, But I thought he had an interview where he said, "Oh yeah, I was talking to Steven Yeun, and he was doing a Marvel thing, and he was talking about how he has to wear another yellow and blue costume or something like that." So they figured out Sentry from there. But yeah, regardless, just a timing thing. And I don't know if it's because of the strike or because of the whole Kang debacle, where they're having to redo everything now. It could be a combination of both. But yeah, he basically was like, "Yeah, I can't wait another year."
Yeah. See, he spoke with Variety, and of course, the article stemmed from CBR, so we'll try to give credit. Robert Kirkman unofficially revealed that he would play Sentry. I can make sure that sounded like Century. It's Sentry. But in speaking with Variety, he says, and I quote, "I think for me, time passing and things shifting kind of pulled me out of it. So that could be, the strike, that could be the Kang thing, that could be other projects that might have popped up for him."
Right.
He did say, I want to make sure that I get this part. It took a lot of drafts on email to make sure that I conveyed the sincerity of how sorry I was to have to back out. He says, "I probably pissed off too many people leaving, so I'm just going to say thank you for having me." It sounded like he's truly sincerely apologetic that he couldn't do it. That maybe he wanted to, and just, again, like you said, timing is a big part of things, I guess, when you're in Hollywood. I'm not in Hollywood, but timing is a big thing for me in my line of work too. So, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I was fully on board with Steven Yeun as Sentry anyway. So
yeah, same.
Now, with that being said, we do have some confirmed movie news.
Okay.
And that is that Mandalorian is I don't want to say departing, because season 4 on Disney Plus has been confirmed, but we're also going to get a Mandalorian full-length feature film that's going to head to theaters.
That's going to be wild.
Yeah, and where is that? When you've told the story now over chapters, I honestly think they're called chapters, aren't they?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
So you've told the story over, I think right now 24, maybe somehow 25 chapters, and then you're going to depart that storytelling structure and throw let's be realistic, it's Star Wars, 2.5 hour chunk on the movie screen.
Yeah.
I'm very curious as to how, where's that going to fit? Is that going to be somewhere between seasons 3 and 4? Because season 4 was not confirmed until after the movie was announced. So, I don't know. So many things. But it's going to be directed by Jon Favreau. So
yeah. So I have faith in him.
Same.
Yeah.
And as long as Dave Filoni's, got some say in it as well.
Yeah.
Now that's not the only Star Wars news that we got, Mike.
No, we got more.
We got more. Do you like how we're just ripping through?
I'm fine with it.
You're like, this 30-minute episode is going to be our best ever.
Yep.
Ahsoka season 2 is coming again with Dave Filoni.
Or as you put it, what's it called?
Star Wars Rebels sequel.
Yes.
Ahsoka was the Star Wars Rebels sequel, and this is like Star Wars Rebels 3.0, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, I'm happy about that too. I'm excited.
I really did enjoy that show.
Oh yeah.
For looking back, and we didn't really do a 2023 year in review, because I got a bad memory. Let's just face it. But that was one of the brighter spots of entertainment for me last year.
Yeah.
That's up there. Gen V was really enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
I think for me, Gen V was, and this is great. I'm not. I think I was surprised at how much I liked it, despite the fact that I liked The Boys. I was like, oh, it's teenagers and what,
right?
Kids. But it was really fun storytelling in Gen V. And Ahsoka was a completely different type of story, but with characters I was more familiar with. And it wasn't until like maybe this time last year or maybe a little bit later, maybe February or something like that, that I actually started watching Star Wars Rebels and watched all of that before Ahsoka. So, like last year was the year of the Rebel for me, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that's. By the way, this year, in case anybody's curious, is the year of the dragon in the Chinese New Year. So,
okay,
which made my son very happy because he loves dragons.
Okay, well, it's good to know.
Gary kept asking my wife. He's like, what was the animal for 2022?" So she look it up. It's like, what was it 2021? And she slowly, a little more slowly, like reaction, look it up. He's like, what about the year before that? She's like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, we got you 3.
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go.
So Ahsoka, we're getting more of that. I do not anticipate that anywhere near 2024.
No.
But speaking of expectations, Mike, you can expect to get Ghostbusters Frozen Empire 1 week sooner than you would have previously.
Yes. I never forget when it comes out, but is it 2024?
It's this March, like 2 months from now.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. It was set to drop on March 29th. It will now drop March 22nd.
Okay, so I got to have somebody watch Afterlife first. We talked about this, Afterlife first, and then we'll go watch Frozen Empire.
Does this person need to watch like Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 also?
First of all, nobody needs to watch Ghostbusters 2.
How dare you?
Look, I've watched Ghostbusters 2 several times. I'm just saying they don't need to. No, I've heard that they have seen Ghostbusters at least maybe when they were like younger.
It's amazing, because like we've watched Ghostbusters here in this house with the children.
Yeah,
on DVD, like not DVD, Blu-ray, whatever type of disc it was,
right.
And like their part, you can tell that the version that I saw was ripped off of TV.
Oh, really?
Because and like I've seen it, in its entirety, not edited for content or things like that. But you remember, I think I know it's Ray, but I can't remember if it's a dream. I think it's a dream where he's with the ghost and his zipper and pants on. I'm like,
oh yeah,
go here, go here.
Yeah, and another part, and that's probably the worst as far as for kids goes part. But also, I'm pretty sure they all smoke throughout the entire thing.
I think so. Well, for me, it's is it Venkman? I think. No, it was Ray when they went to encounter Slimer, and he's got the cigarette just like right.
Oh
right
yeah,
right here off the lip. So that was a different time. Hard to believe that was almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Also, so I saw this online. I don't know if it's TikTok or something, but Bill Murray, and I'd have to double check. The Ray, I can't for life of me, I can't think of his actor's name now.
Dan Aykroyd.
Thank you.
Yes.
They were like in the early 30s when they made that movie, and you look at the build of these guys, the guys who were stars. 40 years ago versus the guys who are stars now. Chris Pratt got himself in shape to be Star-Lord.
Yeah.
He wasn't asked to, but he's like, I feel like it's a Marvel movie. I better, you couldn't get away with a little bit of a beer belly now.
No. Oh, no, not at all.
Man, I wish you could.
I don't know how accurate it is, but I was like, there's some pictures online, and it was like, I think it was like All in the Family. And they're like, oh, yeah, these people were like, in their 30s, and they look like they're 50 or 60.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's actually true, but they're like, this is what a 30-year-old, even like Cheers, like you go back and look at pictures of Cheers, it's like they all look like they're in their 50s or late 40s, I would say, and they're like, oh, they started at 22, and I was like, wow.
So putting this in Cheers, I feel bad that I'm not doing my due diligence to see exactly what year it started. But Ted Danson is 76 years old now.
Yes.
And I know Cheers was on darn near 40 years ago. Maybe say latter half of the 80s. So, but he was still 30.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. Closer to 40. If we're talking like 80s, 1987, something like that. So he was 40 in that. And he was Not it's just crazy. And he's still, I mean, credit him, he's still working.
Oh yeah, he's doing good.
The Good Life and other things.
So the first episode was in 1982.
Okay, so he was 35.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to do that math. I apologize. So, man, that's nuts. And again, looked every bit of what we looked like at 35.
Yeah,
Not like what the Hollywood 35-year-olds look like now, who are playing high school characters.
Right. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somewhere Mark Paul Gosselaar can still strut down a high school hallway as high school age Zach Morris.
He should. Actually, I saw a trailer of his new show that's out on Peacock, and it kind of looks pretty good. I don't know if
he's like a serial killer or something, or
yeah.
That's weird.
And he gets captured. Yeah. That's not what you would think of Zach Morris, but
it'd be really funny if the character's name was Zach Morris based on that. Was it Funny or Die that had the thing like the Zach Morris is trash?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to say this. Zach Morris is trash. It could have led to serial killer, honestly.
That if the character's name in that show was Zach Morris, be like, we knew it.
Yeah,
that'd be a little on the nose though. Oh, that's good. All right, so Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire, just over 2 months from now, Mike.
I'll get on it. Don't worry.
Which is hilarious because this weekend we'll be living a Frozen Empire. Hey-o.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Let's see. Star Trek is going to get a new movie.
Yes, Star Trek 75.
Well, I think it's going to be like the Chris Pine Star Trek, so it's like Star Trek 5.
Sure.
But they are going to get the director from Andor.
Okay, I liked Andor.
Toby Haynes is his name, and Seth. I can never remember it. Seth Graham Smith.
Yes,
is the writer. I first became aware of Seth Graham Smith. He has not had not every bit of his Hollywood career has been a knockout success, but I'm looking for it here. I do have one of his books. I think it's in a box in the garage, which is a great place for books. And it's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, yes, I've heard of that.
He did before that he did Sense and Sensibility and Zombies.
Yes.
Was
it Pride and Prejudice?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of those two.
It sounds the same.
Probably are the same. I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's going to be some like literature. I say this with affection, nerd. Like, somebody like, you uncultured swine. Like, yep, that's us. That's one of those two, though. But he has few Hollywood writing credits. The book, look, this is not going to surprise anybody. The book, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, much better than the movie. That being said, I still kind of liked the movie because I'm a silly mark. But he's going to write this new Star Trek movie, so we can expect that when it comes out.
Looking forward to it.
Let's see. J.J. Abrams, Bad Robot will produce.
Yeah.
So, and it takes place decades before the 2009 Star Trek film.
Oh, okay.
So this is different than the Star Trek 4 that's going to be the final chapter in that story. So that's interesting. Now, do you remember that 2009 Star Trek movie?
Never watched it.
So A, it's actually pretty good.
I believe it. Yeah.
And 2, it has Chris Hemsworth in it.
Oh, got 2 Chris's?
Two out, and it's I'd say 2 out of the 3, but we know that there's. I saw a meme. I can't remember where I saw it, but it was like somebody was being challenged, like it's a cartoon type thing, and it said, "You're a Marvel fan, huh? Yeah, prove it. Name an actor, Chris." So, okay, you got me. But Chris Hemsworth is in it. He plays Captain Kirk's dad. Very. I don't want to spoil it, but like very briefly at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
And then becomes a deadbeat.
No.
Emphasis on the dead.
I got you.
So, but that was fun. It's a good movie. I don't know if you think about Star Trek a whole lot, if you care about Star Trek at all, but that movie was so perfectly timed that my wife and I watched that on our honeymoon in an IMAX theater.
Okay. Well, she knew what she was marrying into then.
Yeah, it was after that. She couldn't back out then.
Yeah, that's too late now.
It was Opry Mills Mall, Nashville, Tennessee. We also were very broke. So we were doing things that were pretty low budget.
Yeah, that's fair.
We passed on eating at the Rainforest Cafe to go watch Star Trek.
Hey, whatever. And you guys are still together, so it worked out.
15 years this May. Can you believe she's put up with me that long?
No.
Neither can I. All right, moving on. Before she hears this, she's like, yeah, what am I thinking?
Now when you mention it.
Yeah, I can do better. All right, so I think I don't want. Gosh, this seems so crazy that we're 35 minutes into this, and the last thing I've got, Mike, unless you got something else, is that earlier today we were today we were gifted a trailer for season 2 of Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe on Netflix. This is Masters of the Universe Revolution. It was Revelation in season 1.
Yeah, and I think we can all safely say that everybody worldwide, universally, absolutely loved the first season and had no complaints about it whatsoever.
Dude, it had Fisto saying, I'm going to fist you.
So I think we're going to have, no complaints about this season.
I will say this based on the trailer, because I remember the first season, obviously, I watched it almost right away.
Yeah.
I don't remember the trailer for it.
No, I don't either.
But I feel like for those, dare I say, naysayers, the trailer did not, dare I say, overemphasize Tila. Right. And there was a lot of, I kind of like that this is more like a family struggle. Maybe not family struggle, but like family drama for Prince Adam.
Yeah.
Anybody who saw the trailer, he's like struggling to be like, okay, I got to rule eternity, but do I do it as Adam or as He-Man? So that's kind of, I'm going to be in, I guess maybe credit Kevin Smith. I feel like he's evolved quite a bit as a writer. He still has some of the same jokes and stuff, but I really enjoyed Jay and Silent Bob.
Clerks 3.
Clerks 3 and Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, they both had moments in them that hit me at where I'm at in life.
Yeah,
there's a tremendous scene. I'll say it again in Jay and Silent Bob reboot with Ben Affleck, who's playing Holden McNeil, and he's a dad, and it's emphasizing the high points, the importance of being a good dad and I was like, yeah, I mean, like most days I feel like I'm an okay dad. Some days I feel like I'm a great dad, but a lot of days I feel like shit dad, so I know that, but again, to Kevin's credit, I feel like he's putting things in his movies that speak to me, various points in my life. So, and then sometimes I just go back and watch Mallrats, be like, I was definitely at that point in my life too.
Yeah.
One time. So,
reminiscing.
That's right. So, Masters of the Universe Revolution. I didn't catch a date on that. I don't know if
I did not either.
Did it specify or did it just say 2024? Here we go. Oh, first episode day is January 25th. So like 3 weeks from now.
Oh, okay.
And again, I don't know. It's Netflix, so you would think maybe that it would drop all at once.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I apologize. I'm trying to see just a little bit more of. No, that's Revelations. That's not helping. Never mind. Apologies.
It'll probably drop all at once.
You don't think so?
The only other thing I could think that would happen is if they did like season 2, part 1, part 2. So like part 1 drops all at once, and then you have to wait 6. Because didn't something like that happen with season 1?
No, I thought that it was all at once.
Was it?
I don't recall.
No. Because I do remember it was they dropped part of it once, and then because people were complaining because I maybe I could.
Oh yeah. Wrong. No. You are right now that you mentioned. Yeah, because people are like, oh, this is so Tila. And everything else. And it was like let the other shoe fall.
Yeah, then the second part came, I don't know if it was months later or a month or way longer, who knows.
Google will tell, not Google, specifically, IMDb will tell me somewhere. Browse it. So the first episode was July 23rd.
Okay.
Of 2021. And stupid. Yeah, right. So the first 5 episodes were in July of 21.
Okay.
And the other 5 episodes were November 23rd of 2021. Okay. And technically they called that season 2.
Okay.
So that's why IMDb was throwing me off because I was just like, Masters of the Universe, damn it, don't make it more complicated.
So they might do something like that again. Yeah,
I could see that. Maybe the first 5 in January here, and the second 5 a little closer to summer. So So I mean, well, hey, I'm here for it. Like I said, I grew up a He-Man fan, and some things stay with you,
right?
So,
have you seen any of Echo?
I no more than I told you.
Okay, so
about earlier today. So just the episode and change.
Yeah.
Largely because it had more things pop up this afternoon, including taking the dog to the vet, which took longer than anticipated. So, but I'm enjoying that. I was very confused by the opening scene where it's like I don't want to say if ancient is the right word, but the ancient Choctaw Indians, and that was the first Choctaw. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, Google, is any of this accurate? Google didn't tell me anything.
There are Choctaw Indians.
Yes. I've heard the Tim McGraw song.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay.
He's an Indian outlaw.
Oh,
part Cherokee and Choctaw. My baby, she's a Chippewa. She's a one of a kind.
All right, sure. I'm sure that's a great song.
It's like a 30-year-old song.
Yeah, I watched all 5. I'm not going to spoil anything. The beginning scene makes more sense, or maybe it doesn't near the end.
That's fair. I like the vagueness of your approach.
A lot of good action. I think some people were complaining about it. I really like the action. I like the storyline. There was something near the end where I was like, okay, didn't know you're going to approach it this way. But I also didn't know much about Echo at all. I think she's been in a handful of comic books I've read, but I've never read an actual Echo comic book. I just think she's been in, she's in the background or something. But I did a little bit of research to find out, okay, what's her powers if she has any. And according to the research I have, not saying this is true of the TV show, but she's just a very talented fighter, and she has the agility and everything, but no specific powers. I think that at one point in time she had something along the lines of a Phoenix Force. That's or something like that. That was what Wikipedia said. I'm sure that was a comic book writer that just well, let's make her do this. And obviously she's a person who's hard of hearing, or she's deaf, and she is she has her leg amputated. I don't know what the correct term for that is.
She's an amputee?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So my understanding is that in the comics she's not. That was something for the show.
Okay.
I
I don't know. Well,
Right.
as for the amputee part, yeah, I know in the comics she is deaf, but
Yes, but you're right. But to the amputation part, I don't believe that exists in the comics.
okay.
Now here's what's interesting. So I also pulled up Wikipedia just now. And under powers and abilities, says Maya Lopez is an Olympic level athlete possessing photographic reflexes or the uncanny ability to perfectly copy other people's movements, similar to that of the Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Do they approach that at all in the show?
No.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Yeah, not at all. That's the thing. I was going to mention that. I forgot about that. I was hoping they would. But no, it never gets addressed. And in fact, there was not a power that they gave her. Well, yeah, they gave her. I'm not going to. I don't think it spoils anything, but they make it to where like she's good at building stuff, and it's just like, well, I kind of wish they would have gone with the photographic memory thing, because like and if you read more like the Wikipedia article, or I might pick up a comic book of hers, honestly.
Sure.
She has like the accuracy of Bullseye now.
That's what it says,
Yeah.
But it says by watching other people, she has become a concert level pianist, a strong martial artist, highly skilled acrobat, a gifted ballerina, and even piloted a Quinjet.
Yeah.
She's gained Daredevil's acrobatic abilities and Bullseye's uncanny aim after watching tapes of their fights. It's like, and that's great, but man, that almost sounds like a little too much ability. Iron Man's only a guy in a suit. Like, let's slow down. Right,
but you could do it a little bit. Here's the thing: they tried it with Taskmaster in Black Widow, but I don't even think they did it that well with Taskmaster. Taskmaster had the same poses as other people,
right?
So
I was thinking about, as we're in the middle of January now, but it says by watching other people, she'd become a concert level pianist. And I got to thinking, I'm like, we're a few weeks away from Groundhog's Day. And the Bill Murray movie, the beloved classic Groundhog Day, it was, somebody actually did calculations. I don't know if you've ever seen this. Somebody did the calculations of how long would Phil Connors have spent in this loop. And a film blog worked it out that it was, and a lot of this is his zero ability to play the piano day one, to being a full on, properly trained or classically trained piano pianist. At the end, 33 years and 350 days.
I thought it was a lot more than that, but yeah.
Could you imagine?
No. I would go insane living the same day for 33 years.
Now, director Harold Ramis, who of course passed away in 2015, once told New York Times that he was stuck on Groundhog Day for only 10 years. So still, no thanks.
Yeah.
We watch, because of the youngsters here in the house, we watch a lot of cartoons, obviously a lot of Mickey cartoons. And at Christmas time, they have Once Upon a Christmas. And it's a little anthology, collection of cartoons. And one of them is Huey, Dewey, and Louie wishing that, couldn't every day be Christmas? And even after like 4 days, they got tired of that.
Yeah.
Like getting the same presents and messing up everything. And they finally realized you can't think about yourself. You have to give. Give from the heart.
That's right.
And so that was the lesson they learned. And then they were finally able to move on to December 26th. So that was a tangent, and I apologize to you and to everybody for it.
It's quite all right.
Mike, anything else that we have tonight?
That's it. No.
Man, easy peasy. And we still almost went an hour.
Yeah.
We're exceptional at this, really.
I think so, too. Only if other people thought it.
We should be getting paid.
Yes.
So you can Venmo us. Mike will put his personal Venmo in the thing, and you just send Mike money.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. It is Venmo at co-host of the year.
Yep.
That'd be a really good one, actually. You should try to lock that one up. And Mike has told me that if you're going to send him anything less than a 5, don't bother.
That's right.
We went 5s, 10s, and 20s, or the rare $9.99. You send $9.99. Mike will send you a picture of his muscles.
Yeah. A picture of a muscle.
This is going off the rails, and I apologize again. All right, that'll do it, I think, for this episode of Nerds United. Mike, this weekend, be safe, stay warm, and don't do anything you don't have to do.
Oh, I'm only going to do things I want to do.
That's attaboy. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
For the co-host of the year, Mike Luther, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United. Thank you so much for watching, for listening. If you are watching on YouTube, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and the share button as well. The trifecta, if you will, of YouTube, and comment as well. 4 things, 4 simple tasks. We appreciate you. And we remind you each and every week to be kind
and rewind.